Students, in this video we'll discuss part E, gravitation of chapter 3. So very first topic in this video we'll discuss universal law of gravitation. According to Newton, the force of attraction acting between two bodies is directly proportional to the product of masses of two bodies, m1 and m2, and the same force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two bodies. So m1 is 1, m2 is the second body, r is the distance of separation from their centers. The combined first and 2, f is directly proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. Directly proportional sign if you replace with equal to capital G, that you have to introduce as a constant of proportionality, m1 m2 upon r square. Now this G is also known as universal constant of gravitation. The value for capital G is 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram inverse square. As an example, we can discuss, according to law of gravitation, Newton proposed that every two body in this universe attracts each other. So we'll try to get the force of attraction between 1 kilogram m1 mass and 1 kilogram m2 mass, whose distance of separation is 1 meter. According to the force of gravitation law, F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. Substitute the value of G m1 m2 and r. Ultimately, we'll get 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton, that is the force of attraction between m1 and m2. So that's why from this value you can understand that this force is not much appreciable. That's why it is not visible or observable to us, the force which is lying between m1 and m2, that is the force of attraction. So force of gravitation between the masses of 1 kilogram and 1 kilogram, and whose distance of separation is 1 meter, in that G is equal to F, because force of gravitation is also numerically equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton. Now the force of gravitation between moon and the earth, if we'll consider, in that we have to substitute the mass of earth and mass of moon and the distance of separation between the moon and earth, which is 3.80 into 10 raised to power 8 meter. This is the mass of earth, nearby 6 into 10 raised to power 24, and this is the mass of moon, that is 7.36 into 10 raised to power 22, divided by 3.80 into 10 raised to power 8 whole square. Approximately, after solving this, you will get 2 into 10 raised to power 20 Newton. So this is the force of attraction between earth and moon. Now some points you have to keep regarding gravitational force in your mind. First is, gravitational force is always attractive. It is directly proportional to the product of masses, as I told you, inversely proportional to the square of the distance, which is also known as inverse square law. And this is significant between the heavenly bodies only, because we have considered 1 kilogram mass of each m1 and m2. So there we have noticed when their distance of separation is r, which is equal to 1 meter, the value is very, very small, that is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton. So in lighter bodies whose mass is very, very small, their much appreciable force of attraction is not noticeable. Importance of the law of gravitation. Newton's used this law to explain the motion of planets around the sun, motion of the moon around the earth, and motion of free falling body. Now force due to gravity. In this, again we'll try to get the force of gravitation when 1 kilogram body is lying on the surface of earth. Next topic is force due to gravity. The expression is F is equal to gmm upon r square. Here two bodies we are considering. One is Earth, this large sphere, and the smaller one is small m, which is on the surface of Earth. Now the distance of separation between these two bodies is the radius of Earth, r. Mass of Earth is nearly 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg, and small m is equal to 1 kg. Radius of Earth is 6400 kilometer approximately, and we can convert this into meter, that is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meter. By substituting the values, the force of gravitation is equal to 9.8 Newton, which is equal to the weight of the body which is acting on the surface of Earth. Then there is a relationship between small g and capital G. F is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, that is mass into acceleration. F is equal to mass and acceleration due to gravity is small g. According to Newton's gravitational law, F is equal to gmm upon r square. Now comparing 1 and 2, we'll get gmm upon r square is equal to mg. This small m will get cancelled, and small g is equal to gm upon r square. So gravity of Earth can also be calculated by using this formula, small g is equal to gm by r square, because for Earth we are considering, so capital G value 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, and mass of Earth is 5.96 into 10 to the power 24. This is approximately 6 into 10 to the power 24, and radius of Earth is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 whole square. And after solving again, we are going to get the same value of gravity of Earth, that is 9.8 meter per second square. On the surface of Moon, same formula you can apply, but there instead of mass of Earth you have to take mass of Moon. Here radius of Earth we were using, here radius of Moon you have to take. So substitute the value of capital G, mass of Moon, radius of Moon, will get 1.6 meter per second square, which is 1/6 the gravity of Earth. Now next topic is of free fall. Now here, when there are two cases, when the body is allowed to fall freely and when the body is thrown downward. So when the body is allowed to fall freely, u is equal to 0, that is the initial velocity, this is 0, okay. In that case, S will replace with H and A we will replace with plus G, because the body is coming towards ground, that Earth. Here are the three equations, V is equal to U plus 80, S is equal to UT plus half 80 square, V square is equal to U square plus 2S, where V is final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is acceleration and T is time. S is the distance, that height. So in all the three equations, we can substitute this U equal to 0, we'll get V is equal to 0 plus GT, because A will replace with plus G. H is equal to 0T, anything multiplied by 0 will be 0 plus half GT square, and then V square is equal to U square, which is 0 square, that we are ignoring, plus 2GH, okay. And when U is not 0 means body is thrown with certain velocity in upward direction, in this way, okay. Not in upward, it is downward, in this way, okay. So U will not take equal to 0, V is equal to U plus GT, H is equal to UT plus half GT square, and V square is equal to U square plus 2GH. There is another case when body is thrown upwards with certain initial velocity which is not 0. U is not 0. U is having certain value. But at highest point V is 0. S will replace with H, A with minus G, because it is moving against gravity. So as you know, V is equal to U minus GT. Now V is 0. So 0 is equal to U minus GT. H is equal to UT minus half GT square. And the last one is 0 square, that is 0. U square minus 2GH. After that, mass and weight. Now mass of the body is the quantity of matter contained in the body, and mass is a scalar which can never be 0 and will not change its value from one place to another. You can take number of example like speed of light, that is 3 into 10 by 8 meter per second. And if we'll consider the mass of the body which is moving with the speed less than that, then mass will remain constant. Weight of a body is the force with which the earth attracts it. So in other words, weight of a body is the force of gravity on the body itself. Weight is a vector quantity whose acting in downward direction. Unit of weight is Newton in SI system, and CGS it is dyne. The relation is 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. Relationship between weight and mass, as you know, W is equal to mass into gravity, so W is equal to mg. Then in gravitational unit system, in MKS, weight is measured in kgf, and in CGS system it is measured in gram force. So 1 kgf is equal to 9.8 Newton, 1 gram force is equal to 980 dyne. These both relations are important. Then there is a comparison of mass and weight. As I told you, mass is the measure of quantity of matter contained in the body at rest. And weight is the force with which the earth attracts the body towards itself. It is a scalar quantity, it is a vector, SI unit is kilogram, here it is Newton. It is measured by the physical or beam balance. Okay, but this weight is measured by the spring balance. It is constant for a body and does not change with the change in place, but it is not constant with the change in the gravity. There is a change in the value of weight, and it will become 0 at the center of earth. Gravitational unit we have discussed, but definition you have to learn surely. It's important part. 1 kgf, 1 kilogram force is the force due to gravity on a mass of 1 kilogram. And the value of 1 kgf is 9.8 Newton, and 1 gram force is the force due to gravity on a mass of 1 gram. And 1 gram force is equal to 980 dyne. As here they have explained that 1 kgf is equal to 9.8 Newton, and when we'll hold the 1 kilogram mass on our palm or 100 gram, so there is a force of, so mass is 100 gram. How we can explain it? As you know, 1 kgf is equal to 1000 gram force. So to an approximation, 1 kgf is assumed to be nearly equal to 10 Newton, and 1 Newton is equal to 0.1 kgf. Now kg is 1000, and 1 by 10 will get out of this 0.1. So 1 0 will cancel, or simply we can say it is equal to 100 gram force. So thus one can feel a force of 1 Newton by holding a mass of 100 gram on his palm. So it is very interesting part. Again I am repeating, 1 Newton is the force experienced by the palm by holding 100 gram mass on the palm. So you can watch this video again and again to get mastery on the concept. Thank you very much.